really lead that change, which is something I think people forget. We're not waiting for it to be handed to us. We're telling them what I need, and then they're adapting the industry towards that, which is great.
It's like the next podcast, and we're on the road again at another Abilities Expo, this time in Dallas, Texas. Please enjoy this weekcast.
Just a couple of buns, all trying to get by. Just a couple of teens, all trying to survive. Live to the max, cause you don't live it twice. Couple green thumbs, all high as a
And welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. We are at the Abilities Expo in Dallas, Texas, and today I have the honor to speak to Kristin Hartness. She runs a non-for-profit called Canines for disabled kids. Kristin, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So what brings you out to the Abilities Expo?
Well, I come to the Abilities Expos because I do a presentation for them. I present it once each day called All About Service Dogs. And so it's an opportunity to talk with people about what service dogs are, why they are, how they're defined, what the rules that govern them, and then help people who need service dogs to get them, to figure out what kind they need and how to obtain one. So that's why I'm here this weekend.
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a service dog user. I've been a service dog user since 2001. I have multiple sclerosis, and I've had that for over 35 years now. So a service dog is one of the tools that I use on a daily basis. And when I got my first service dog, it just really changed my world, really opened it back up for me, gave me better access, brought back a lot of independence that I felt like I was losing. And it made such an impact that a year later, when I was asked to take over the leadership of this nonprofit, Canines for Disabled Kids, I couldn't say no to it. So now the more I can talk to people about service dogs, the more I can help people get access to this tool, the better I feel. And that's really, what it's all about for me.
So you've been doing this for a while then?
I have been. I'm old hat at this now, but it's been great to see how things have changed, how the world has become, especially in the United States, become more open to service dogs, really expanding the work that service dogs can do, and to see the industry continue to grow and adapt as we, the people who need the service dogs, can tell the industry what it is that we need, and really lead that change, which is something I think people forget. We're not waiting for it to be handed to us. We're telling them what I need, and then they're adapting the industry towards that, which is great.
So how do you pair like a dog, a puppy, or any with a person? How do you know?
So the training programs the majority of training programs will train the dogs fully before they pair them with a person. And that's because you want to make sure that the dog has a skill set, the right skill set down that person is going to need, and the right personality to match with that person as time goes on. The industry has a huge failure rate because most dogs don't want to be service dogs. So at least 50% of the dogs that try to be service dogs will fail. So you don't want to match a dog to a person too early, because you don't want to fall in love with the dog and then find out that it's not going to be a good service dog for you.
Yeah.
So the training programs are looking at your skill set profile. What do you need the dog to do? Then they're looking at the dogs that can do those things. And then they're saying, okay, well, out of this group of dogs that can do those things, what kind of lifestyle do you lead? Are you a really active person? Do you want a dog that does a lot of cuddling? Do you need a dog that can settle in pretty quickly, that travels well? What are those things about your lifestyle and you as a person that we need to now match to the dog? And they will work closely to make sure that you have a dog that fits your lifestyle, so that you're not adapting to having a pet in your house, but you are bringing a new tool into your home that is going to help you be more independent and access the world more fully. So.
That's beautifully said. Yeah, I actually I had a service dog before. and I gave him back, and it was sad, but it was also he was a pain in the ass because what they do is they rescue the dogs and then they try to turn them into service dogs, and you said you can't really do that because
It's a very small percentage of rescue dogs that make it as service dogs. The failure rate amongst rescue dogs is closer to 90%, where the failure rate amongst dogs that were bred to be service dogs is about 50%. So it's a really hard mix. There's not one specific formula that works for everybody,
right.
but certainly a rescue dog would be harder to get through a service dog program and to make a successful service dog from than a dog that started service dog school as a puppy. So I'm not surprised that you said that one wasn't really the right dog for you.
It was hard to like it was. I hate to say get rid of it, but it was hard to let him go because he was such a good dog, he was like whenever he heard that feeder for the food, that's when he was happy. I want him happy with me. And he didn't seem happy with me, so I figured out give him away or give him back to the foundation, and they excommunicado blocked me on everything right after I gave them.
That's too bad because it's not unheard of that a match might not work. About 1 in 5 matches don't work, but it's not because the dog was bad or the person was bad. It just means that they weren't the right ones together. I mean, you're going to spend more time with your dog than you would spend with a spouse. So you really need to, have the right dog and the right personality. So I'm sorry that you had a negative experience, but I'm going to tell you that if you're ever interested in getting a service dog again and giving it a try, I'd help you get to an organization that would really cater to you so that you would have a dog that was happy working for you, right? And doing what you need him to do.
Well, I just like cuddles and alarming. That's it. So as you can see, I'm on a ventilator, and when I'm terrified if it pops off, so I want the dog to bark as soon as it pops off. That's the only thing I really care about. And for it to not be a nuisance towards my nurses.
Of course. So, I mean, without going into a lot of history with you, but I certainly could see that you would be a match for what we call a mobility service dog. It would be a dog that would be trained to alert so that if something does go wrong with your trach, that the dog could do an alert, whether it would be a barking or whether it would be pushing a dedicated button that would call help, something that would be appropriate to reach as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. But it also could be able to help retrieve objects. And then, for example, I worked with a gentleman who is a quadriplegic. He's an accountant in Pennsylvania. And one of the things that he needed, because he controlled his chair and his tablet with a stylus, but he would drop the stylus periodically. And so that would, halt his communication. It was very frustrating for him and was really a concern for him because he would now be stuck wherever he was if he dropped that. So one of the things his dog was trained to do was to be able to pick the stylus up. And the dog was trained to pick it up at the same end all the time. And then the dog would come up onto the man's lap. He put his front paws on the man's lap, and then he would hold the stylus up against so that the man could take the stylus back into his mouth and be able to regain control. So there's a lot of different things that a dog can be customized to based on what your needs are.
That's beautiful. Well, let's get back to disability for kids. Because we went off the beaten path. So disability for service dogs for disabled kids, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So, how great is it passing the leash? Because, how good does that feel?
It's phenomenal to be able to see a child gain so much independence so much earlier than I was able to do with my disability. And the earlier we can get certain types of service dogs to children, the more independence they gain, and it becomes a natural process for them. So when you partner a child, quite often the parent is part of that partnership because you have to have full responsibility. It's kind of like being on a learner's permit when you're in public, but the dogs are able to really make it so that the kids can fully interact. So, one family I worked with, their son has epilepsy. And before getting his service dog, he was not allowed to play in the playground with the kids, the other school kids, because they were afraid that he would be on the jungle gym or that he would be at the top of the slide and that he would have a seizure and be in greater risk of getting hurt because they didn't know when the seizures were coming. By partnering him with a seizure-alert dog, the dog is able to give advance notice. So if the dog gives notice that a seizure's coming, then they know that that's not the time for him to be safely like going up on the slide or going on the jungle
It's
gym.
amazing.
But when the dog says there's no seizure coming, he's able to get out there and play with the other kids just like the other kids and have that full interaction and have that greater fulfillment and that greater access to life. So that's why I do what I do, is make sure that they can do as much as possible themselves.
That's beautiful. I mean, I'm so happy to hear that. You said you're on your fourth service dog.
I am. I am.
I can't imagine losing one dog. I just lost my dog 2 years ago. It was one of the worst feelings in the world. It's because she was such a good dog. She was a pit bull Jack Russell mix.
Nice.
So amazing. And she was my childhood dog. Yeah, lost her. And I just can't imagine what you went through. Like, it's like, I mean, it's probably a bittersweet question to ask. Do you mind me asking?
No, go right ahead. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind at all. It's just they make such a difference in my life. They give me an independence that I wouldn't have otherwise. They really, I mean, I travel the country and I travel by myself, and it's because I have the right tools. But yes, when they pass, it's heartbreaking. I mean, I take time off from work when they pass. I take 2 or 3 days off from work and really just sit with my feelings. I usually have my new service dog at that time, but
You're a trooper.
it's a
2 to
grief.
3 days.
Yeah. Because you have to get back into life and you have to honor what they gave you, right? The
Yeah.
reason they gave me the ability to be out in the world and they gave me the ability to access the world. And so while I grieve them and while I grieve their loss, I need to honor that too. And I need to keep going forward with and build on what they gave me with the next dog and with the next dog after that. So it's mixed because I miss them and I will miss them forever.
Yeah.
But I have to keep going as well. And
Absolute warrior, honestly. Where can people find you guys?
so you can find us. Our website is caninesforkids.org. You can also you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. And you can reach us. Our email is info@caninesforkids.org.
Okay, so it is Canine for Kids.
The organization is called Canines for Disabled Kids,
Okay.
but that made the website really long. So the website got abbreviated to Canines for Kids. We do spell that out, CANINESFORKIDS.org.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Kristin. And for everybody watching, if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take a breath from me.
You know the smell of